Hello, my name is Anshul Kesarwani and I work with Riverbed Technical Support. Today we'll be setting up a basic NFS SteelFusion deployment. Before jumping into demo, let's first go through common terminologies and overview. First look at the common terminologies which exist between iSCSI as well as in the NFS. First, all configuration is done at the SteelFusion core and core pushes the configuration to the edge. The very basic configuration which is required on the edge is how to connect to the core. There is no auto discovery. That means explicit configuration needs to be done on both sides. There is one-to-one association between edge and the core, meaning one edge can only talk to one core at a time. And there is one-to-many association between core to edge. That means one core can serve many of the edge appliances. And also that there is no optimization which happens on SteelFusion, although we rely on Steelhead for bandwidth reduction on our hard disk ports. Let's look at some terminologies which are specific to NFS. So the appliance in order to work with NFS need to be in file mode. The default mode for all the SteelFusion devices is iSCSI mode. You also need to require NFS license, and also there is a concept of virtual IP. Virtual IP is configured on the SteelFusion Edge and it is used to expose the SteelFusion NFS exports. And this IP floats between the Edge appliances if they are running in HA. We'll look at it when we do the demo. We support NFS version 3. For the Edge appliance, the support is only available for the SFED appliances. This feature is not available on the EX series Edge appliances. Device can run in block mode or file mode. There is no interoperability between the two. And also there is one caveat that once devices are converted into file mode for NFS, downgrade from version 5 is not supported. The reason being this feature is only introduced starting version 5 of our devices. Let's see the setup steps. On the core, we first add the edge. On the edge, we connect back to the core and we also specify the virtual IP that we just seen in the previous slide. On the core, we mount the exports. On the core, we map these exports to the edge. Optionally, we can do pinning or pre-populating these exports. And lastly, on the branch ESXi, we can add NFS storage using the virtual IP of the edge. Let's quickly look at these things in action. Here is my edge appliance running version 5 and here is my core up. So first we add core and edge together. So my core IP 1072.192.140. So this is the SteelFusion Edge identifier. And this is the virtual IP that I was talking about earlier. So this virtual IP would be used by the servers, the ESXi server on this host or ESXi external ESXi server to connect to these NFS exports which would be available from this edge. Okay, my edge and core are connected, which is fine. Let's go ahead and complete the NFS configuration. Let's add the storage array. Once my storage array is added, let's add the exports. If my storage array was not added earlier, we can very well add it from this page also. So we can see from this backend storage, we have scanned and got 3 exports. For the sake of this lab, I'm going to use these 2 exports. So now it's asking me to map these exports. So let's continue with mapping. So this is the edge appliance that we have just connected. Let's map these two. So this is the ACL which is asking me who should have read-write access. So my VSP service on the edge. So my ESXi is installed on my edge itself. So I'll restrict my access to the VSP service on the active edge. So now it's asking me to pin these LANs. So I'll just pin my OS LAN. It's asking me to pre-populate. I'll leave it to default. Map exports. Done. Okay, so we can see that these two exports are now online and these are already mapped to my edge that we have just connected. Let's go to the edge to see whether we can see these exports or not. On the edge page, we go to exports. We can see these two exports which are available here. For this lab, we'll go one step further. We'll map these exports on the ESXi server. This is the ESXi server on the SFED appliance. Let's add these NFS export onto this. How do we do that? We go to add storage. You choose NFS. For the server IP, we need to use the virtual IP that we have specified on the edge configuration. This is my mount path. Let's give it a meaningful data store name. Here it is. So we can see that this NFS mount which was coming in from my backend storage is projected all the way through NFS. Let's explore this. So we can see that this NFS mount came all the way from my data center. When we have projected it onto one of the branch location. So this concludes this presentation on how we can set up a basic NFS SteelFusion deployment. Thank you for watching.